a special Mac Voices that I hope will help someone in your life. This is Mac Voices. This edition of Mac Voices is supported by Text Expander by Smile, the makers of world-class software. Visit textexpander.com/podcast to learn more and download your free demo. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, you probably know that we produce Mac Voices Live Tuesday nights on YouTube. You probably also know that we publish Mac Voices After Dark, which is a collection of the pre- and post-show conversations from those sessions as a benefit to our Patreon members. What you're going to see is one of those conversations that was broadcast, but unless you were there live, you would not have seen it. And unless you're a Patreon member, you would not have received it either. But I felt it was so good and so important that I wanted to publish it as a dedicated Mac Voices episode. One of the panel members brought up the fact that they had a family member who had suffered a stroke and had, as you would expect, some limitations as a result of that stroke. And we're looking for input on ways to make using the Mac easier for that family member. And what followed was completely unscripted, and it was not just a walk down the accessibility control panel, but it was efforts by other members of the panel to give that person an idea of some things that they might or might not benefit from. So I'm hoping it will benefit you or maybe someone you care about that are in similar circumstances. I certainly hope you don't have anyone in similar circumstances, but if you do, this information might prove very valuable. So let's go back and let the panel do the talking.
I have a question, and David, you're one of the people I wanted to ask, so I just want to pitch this to you guys really quick. I talked to Andrew about it already, so Andrew's not going to be surprised. But my aunt is switching from a Mac to a PC, and my uncle has that's how long my day has been, guys. The other way. She had
PC
a PC
to Mac
and got a Mac. Words, man.
I can breathe again.
Apparently, I'm out of them.
Words be hard.
I used all the words. I just didn't put them in the right order. Calm down. Okay, so my aunt had a PC and now has a Mac. My uncle had a stroke and has a slightly hard time with mobility, but also is having cognitive issues. And so I wanted to know if any of you had any sort of tips for things that could make it easier for my uncle to use his new computer. That was all.
His Mac.
He also has an iPhone. So yeah. So David, that was part of why I thought maybe you might be a good resource for that. So that's all. If there's anything that I can do to make something easier for him, that would be awesome. So that's all.
Kelly, the first thing that jumps to mind, and I don't know what kind of cognitive or what his other issues are, but you know, figure out trackpad, mouse, trackball. Which one is easiest for him and makes the most sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he was using a PC.
Mm-hmm. With a mouse.
Did he have any particular problems with that? Was he, what kind of user is he of that?
That I don't know. And mostly he types he's like typing words into things like emails and things. Not a lot of time with the mouse that I know of, but I'm going to find out. Because if he has a hard time with the trackpad, there's lots of things we can do instead. I just need to find out what. So,
yeah, definitely look at the more ergonomic mouse if he can still hold the mouse. Touchpad might not be. Yeah. I mean, it might be helpful just because it's flat, and he might have a better option with the touchpad versus the Magic Trackpad. Probably be my choice.
Kelly, another thing with
trackball would be,
or a trackball, yeah, if he can handle the ball,
If trackpad is ultimately the better way for him to go, trackpad with a stylus.
Ooh.
Yeah, if he can.
That. Yeah, that's a good idea.
If he's able to write, then maybe. Yeah, like a real good idea.
Yeah, that might be a finer, if he's still got that
Wacom pad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just go dig through your box of styluses that you got for your original iPad.
The stuff from Macworld. I have like 2 of them sitting over there in my Apple mug. Yeah.
And give him a fistful of those, and I mean that'll work on your on your Magic Trackpad.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Thank you. That super helps. Yeah.
Kelly, the only other thing, again, not knowing, and we don't want to ask details, but turn up, down, shoot, whichever way, the resolution of the monitor, or get a bigger monitor,
bigger.
make sure that he can see things. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, just maybe run through the accessibility pane and see what all's there.
See, and then see what would help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up with it because, my aunt ended up with it because she called me and asked me a bunch of questions about it, and then said he's not very good at using his PC anymore anyway. And she always has to tell him what to do and where to go, to click on the thing and to do whatever it is that needs to be accomplished. So she said, I decided if I'm going to have to tell him all the time anyway, it better, this way I can have a computer that I like, and then he can, if I'm still going to have to tell him how to do it all the time anyway, then he doesn't care that it's a new operating system. It won't matter that much.
So knows how to work the Mac, sounds like?
No, but I'm helping her. I've been 2 FaceTime sessions and right now a text message / team viewer session trying to get things set up so far. So, yeah.
And also our plan was maybe setting up some kind of shortcuts to help them too.
Yeah, I asked Andrew if, since there's shortcuts on Monterey, I asked Andrew if there's like some, hey lady, check my mail, or something that you could say to your computer, and then it would like open the Yahoo webpage or whatever email address it is he has, and like automatically make that work. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a small one, but I've been using this recently for Zoom presentations, and I've had an amazing number of people say, "Ooh, how do you do that?" And that is just increase the size of the cursor so you can find it. I mean, that sounds simple, but it's amazing how many people think that's magic. Yep. I guess when they can't see the cursor, that's a big deal. So
yeah.
I'll bid you guys good night. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, good luck, David.
Good night, Dave.
Thanks,
We'll see you
Dave.
Thursday.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
See ya.
I actually might have to call her now, so I don't know how long I can stick her out because I don't know why she's having trouble with permissions on Monterey. Shocker, I know.
Yeah.
So,
What kind of computer is it?
it's a 13-inch MacBook Pro M1. Yeah, and we'll
Just like the one I'm talking to you on.
Yeah, just like the one I'm talking to you on. Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm just hopeful that that it'll be a better experience. And motor control is the thing I was considering because I was thinking about it's not like he's going to spend a ton of time in front of it anyway. So maybe if the trackpad ends up being a thing that works for him, the 12 South bridgey majig that you put the keyboard and the mouse together on and snap it together and then it's all one unit, then that way, like if he holds it in his lap or something, it's not a whole, it's not a whole situation. So
this might be overkill and it would require you to set it up, Kelly, but would something like let's see, what is it, the 6-key, 9-key, whatever, StreamDeck, where you just hit one button and then you have it programmed to do, like you said, check mail or
that's
whatever.
fracking brilliant.
Yeah.
I flip side, my mom had motor control problems. She had Parkinson's and some other issues. And I think, everyone's going to be different. She couldn't use a trackpad. In fact, we had her try an iPad and she's like, she couldn't use that because her hand was, but she was able to use a mouse. So that's what she preferred. But another aspect was, this was a while ago, so there weren't shortcuts, but there was command key shortcuts. And sometimes she would trigger them by accident.
Yep.
And well, it sounds funny, but she would call up.
No,
and
I've done that. That's why I can totally see it
she would
happening.
have no idea what she had done. And sometimes, especially remotely, it was like, I remember one time she managed to turn off the address bar in the browser. And so, and of course, first getting her to, we didn't have a screen sharing at that point, getting her to describe, what was going on. Because I think she said that Google had been removed. I think that was somehow Google was removed from my computer. And it's like, okay, I wonder what that means. And ultimately it meant that the address bar had been removed. Yeah. But, I came away wishing that I could just turn off all command key shortcuts somehow, because she never on purpose used any of them, and sometimes she would use them by mistake, and then wouldn't know what had happened.
Yeah.
So something, just I'm bringing it up because paradoxically, sometimes maybe an easy way to do things might be bad rather than good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of why I like the StreamDeck option. Like, here's a mail button, push it, and you get your mail. Here's the Internet Explorer icon, push it, and you get Chrome. Whatever. So I was thinking, so that actually might be a pretty good use of that, and see how that works. So
see, that computer has a touch bar, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know. I think.
Well, if it's a 13-inch MacBook
I think
Pro.
we ended up. I think it might be an Air. I kind of don't remember because we were looking at them. So, yeah, but I helped her sort of sort it out. Hooked her up with an AirPrint printer, and so that's going to show up soon. So, mostly, I'm just excited that everything's going to be functional. So, because the computer she has right now is so slow and so creaky, and I'm just pleased that everything's going to be so much faster. So,
what do they do with it?
Not much. Web surfing, web surfing and email primarily. So yeah. We talked about an iPad, but it seems like this was going to be the better option because it's more computery, which is more what he's familiar with. So,
Jim, that's an interesting question. I just Googled it, and there are a couple things, but not the idea that you could turn off all keyboard shortcuts.
I couldn't find that at the time. Now, this was 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any way to turn them all off.
Yeah, there are a couple things here, but I'm not sure if we make it a universal turn off for everything.
Yeah, I don't know that you can disable all of them. But
I was also thinking that I would it would be kind of cool if there was some sort of a mode of the opposite of power user, don't allow freeze
Fisher Price.
yeah, freeze all this stuff. So my mom would never want to turn off the address bar. Right.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you jam something under the modifier keys so you can't use them? That disables all keyboard shortcuts.
Oh, that's the problem. You didn't buy her a butterfly keyboard and then eat a sandwich over it so that the command key just wouldn't work anymore.
Could you pop those keycaps off?
I know I'm saying that in a joking sense, but I mean, seriously, why not put something underneath the keys so they don't push down? And now you don't have modifier keys, which means you don't have any keyboard shortcuts.
I suppose. Can
you reassign the modifiers to be nothing in keyboard preferences?
There's probably it probably could be done one keyboard at a time, one shortcut at a time, like you're saying, but I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, but somebody might benefit from all these ideas, depending on how badly somebody wants to use things. But
modifier keys.
I know the other thing that she really struggled with was having any idea of the modality of apps or windows. And, the fact that she was running Safari or Mail, and you should look in the upper left corner of the menu bar and what app are you running? And she never got that ever.
Okay. I just fixed your keyboard shortcut problem for you. Keyboard preferences.
For $5 a week.
Modify your keys, and then set Control, Option, and Command to do nothing. Now you don't have any modifier keys.
Wait a minute, Jeff. Keyboard.
Where's this?
System preferences, keyboard.
Keyboard, okay.
Modifier keys. It's a button at the bottom right.
Oh.
And now set Control, Option, and Command to do nothing.
Okay. I wonder if that was in probably 10.8.
Odds are slim.
It wouldn't surprise me if it is.
And, my mom passed away 4 years ago, so it's no longer a issue, but.
Jeff, I didn't even know that was
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was there.
I knew that was there because I go in and disable my caps lock key. And I know people that when they freaked out because they didn't have a physical escape key on the Touch Bar Mac, they went and changed caps lock to escape.
Actually, customizing the keyboard shortcuts was one of the first power usery things I did on a Mac. And when I was like, oh, I'm never going to miss that thing again. As in the old PC. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Having the moment when you
having that system level customizability is just awesome.
Jim, I'm sorry I didn't have this answer for you 4 years ago.
Well, no, it was more like 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Sorry I didn't have it for you then.
Apology accepted. That's really cool. I had no idea. I've got a 1012 system and it was there. So who knows when? Maybe it was in 10.0. I don't know. Well, that's neat.
Yeah. And I do have to go call my aunt now, so I have to go.
Hey, before you
get this fixed.
Kelly, before you go, Brian in the chat room is saying, would some voice control features be helpful? To my recollection, I thought there were some accessibility features in addition to what Siri could do.
There might be. Mistaken. I'm gonna, once we have it set up so that he can try and use it. I set my aunt up with her own user account, so I just need to get him set up with his user account, and then I'm going to talk to her. And I told her, like, there are some things that we can do to make it easier for him to use. And I just need to know the parts where he has trouble so that I can help make those easier for him. And that was part of where asking Andrew about shortcuts, because I'm like, I need a good automation for this. And I'm like, well, Andrew's in Slack right now, so I'm just going to see what's up. So I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to her and see what kind of issues pop up as he's using this new machine. And then once I have a better idea of, like, he and the trackpad are not compatible, or that keyboard is too weird, or, something like that. Once I've got something to go on, then I can look at some mitigation. But I really like the idea of the StreamDeck as a choice. So I'll see. I'll see what kind of options I have there. So
because there you could set that for just, even if you just have colored buttons, you don't have to have any distinct labels. Just in case of emergency, hit the red button.
Yeah.
You're a good niece.
Yeah.
You are.
I try.
Good job. Yeah, I'm going to say goodnight to the chat room. Chat room, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. We will see you next Tuesday, if not sooner, in the MacVoices Slack.
Bye, chat room. Thank you for the tips, Brian.
Bye, chat room.
I hope that this MacVoices After Dark conversation helps you or someone you love. It's a very difficult situation when a loved one suffers a stroke and has to work through all the issues and problems that come with it. And hopefully this information will give you some things to think about and maybe solve a few of your problems. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. As always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.